the station that is local for you. NBC4 at 5 starts now.
Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. And it's not just here, it's out of town.
Catastrophic damage across Ohio tonight after a line of powerful storms brought tornadoes, hail, and heavy rainfall. Tonight, we're getting a better look at the storm's path and what it's going to take to rebuild.
The National Weather Service has already confirmed at least 5 tornadoes touched down in the state, but there could be more as they continue to survey the damage. 3 of them were in western Ohio. The other 2 were in Pickaway County, with one crossing into Hocking County. And the Governor Mike DeWine, has already declared a state of emergency in Montgomery, Greene, and Mercer counties. Thank you, everybody. It was a long night last night. We appreciate you joining us here at NBC4. I'm Darlene Hill.
I'm Mark Taylor. We're going to take you live to some of the hardest hit areas in a moment. But first, we do want to help the families affected tonight. We have a special call for going on tonight. We're working with the Red Cross to raise money for these storm victims. So call 614-821-4444 to make a donation right now.
So we begin our team coverage tonight with Chief Meteorologist Dave Mazza. We're under a threat of severe storms again for tonight. We're praying for those homeowners. What's going on right now, Dave?
Yeah, we've been watching as a line of showers and thunderstorms have been kind of filling in up towards the north. You notice it on live Viper radar here, basically up in the US 30 corridors where we've been watching these this evening. And some of these have been popping up through parts of Hardin County. You notice this one cell moving away from Kenton right now into Marion County. And that one still has a little bit of lightning with it and still showing the possibility of a little bit of small hail. But this is all part of a line of disturbed weather that's riding right along a frontal boundary from over in Illinois through Indiana and Ohio. Kind of a similar looking setup on radar that we had yesterday with those storms well off towards the west. Now, the threats are not going to be the same as yesterday. I'm generally expecting to see pop-up storms along this boundary, as it will stay generally in the northern third of the state through the evening hours tonight. It will have some very strong gusty winds along with some of these thunderstorms and the possibility of some small hail and frequent lightning with these storms to the north. Now, what's going to happen is that front is going to make its way, starting to progress south during the day on Wednesday, and that will increase the risk of strong to severe storms area-wide during the day on Wednesday. And it will not be until late Thursday that we kick the threat out of our area completely. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we will track when to expect the worst of the storms during the day on Wednesday and look ahead to potentially a much more quiet forecast heading our way.
Well, should we get hit with severe weather again, we do have a lot of tools to help you stay informed and stay safe. You can download the free Storm Team 4 app to get live Viper radar and weather alerts. Just search NBC4 WX in the App Store. You can also there download our news app to stream live newscasts and follow us on social media for live weather coverage as well.
It was dark when those storms rolled into Ohio. Last night, we were able to get glimpses of some of those tornadoes during flashes of lightning, and today, we're seeing the extent of the damage. Our Liz McGiffin has been in touch with the National Weather Service. She joins us now live from Trotwood, just northwest of Dayton, one of the hardest hit areas, with more on what it looks like in that area. Liz.
Well, right now I'm in Trotwood, and one thing that I want to show you is down on the ground. Look at all this white stuff around. What you're looking at is actually insulation from one of the houses, or really several of the houses in this Montgomery County neighborhood. As that tornado moved through, it received an EF3 rating because of estimated wind speeds of 140 miles per hour. And not only did it scatter insulation all across the ground, but take a look at some of the roots of this trees. It uprooted some pretty big trees and also caused some damage to some of the houses, and that includes major damage to roofs as well as knocking down some of the barns. Here's a picture now of a picture that was shared to us of that tornado that moved through the Trotwood area. This is a picture that was shared with us from Matt Barkle, and he let us know that in neighborhoods just like the one that we're standing in now, there was not only damage to the homes, but like we just showed you, several uprooted trees. We've also seen that the winds, they were strong enough for the trees that were still standing to lose a little bit of their bark as well. That indicated us wind speeds over 136 miles per hour, or an EF3 tornado. And in the midst of all of this mangled debris, in some cases, there is even metal wrapped around some of the power lines. There were barns that were completely leveled, and on top of that, we even saw one house that was completely collapsed on its foundation. I do want to remind you as well that we are still in the heart of the spring severe weather season, and it's very important to make sure you have multiple ways to get your watches and alerts about warnings, including tornado warnings. And that, again, is just as easy as downloading our NBC4 mobile weather lab. Of course, right here in Trotwood, it's not the only place that they're cleaning up from the damage. Tyler Carter shows us now in Dayton, where they are still cleaning up from some of those storms.
Liz, we're out here at a shopping center on North Dixie Drive. This is North Dayton, where the tornado just swept through it. I want to show you a couple of things. This, we believe, was probably a bar that used to be standing that is completely gone. I mean, that tornado just ripped right through it. If we walk a little bit this way behind me, we'll be able to see that we have a couple of shops out here. We have a nail salon, a Metro PC, and this, a Family Dollar. The entrance of it, you can see straight through it. I'm told many of the people that live in this area that after the storm rolled through, people came to several of these stores and were coming inside through the broken windows in the front and the knocked out walls. And unfortunately, they were stealing some merchandise. Many of the store owners were out here early this morning along with the sheriff's department last night and this morning, making people stop. Many of the store owners loaded the rest of their merchandise in their vehicles to prevent people from taking what was left. For many of these business owners out here, this is their only source of income. So their business has been taken away from them. Just a couple minutes ago, we did see other business owners who were out here as well getting some more of their merchandise. We have a couple of hair salons that are also out here. One thing that I spoke with a sheriff, and he said he wants people to know, just please be respectful of all these businesses and the devastation that has happened in this town. Live and local for you in North Dayton, Tyler Carter, NBC4.
Tyler, just talk about the true impact of Mother Nature out there and what she's able to do. Just have your photographer pan over to my right, your left, I believe. There is a bar there that you showed us. The bar is totally wiped out. The bar stools are still standing in place. What are people saying as they come out there? I mean, they look at that.
You know, the sad thing is right now is they've kind of blocked this entire area off, Darlene, so only media can be out here.
Yeah.
But we don't know if people were actually here last night when this tornado rolled through. I did look through a couple of the businesses out here, like a Subway and a Little Caesars, and they did say that they were closing early due to the severe weather. The fortunate thing is no one was out here was injured, according to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department. But, I mean, just to see the devastation, how strong this storm was, to completely just rip out this bar is just, it's a sight to see.
It is just amazing out there, and I'm glad you told people about the warning out there to not come out there and to start looting. So we appreciate the tips out there. We appreciate that, Tyler. Now, as the cleanup begins, communities are in serious need of help. There were dozens of injuries reported, and blood banks need donors. There are also boil advisories in Dayton, in the area, and widespread power outages. Dayton Power and Electric says before the lights come back on, right now, nearly 50,000 people are without power, and most of the outages there are in the Dayton metropolitan area. A little closer to home, the National Weather Service has already confirmed 2 tornadoes touched down in Pickaway County, south of Circleville and Laurelville. They haven't rated the strength of those twisters just yet, and for most of the day, US 23 was shut down southbound between Venture and Thomas Roads. It has not yet reopened.
And this storm system was a deadly one on the Ohio-Indiana border. Tonight, authorities in Salina are confirming an 81-year-old man was killed during the tornado when it tore through his home. That community was one of several stops Ohio Governor Mike DeWine made today while touring the damage. Republican Senator Rob Portman was also there, both promising to those who lost everything they'll help them get back on their feet.
Seeing this happen any place is you know, horrible thing to see, and this certainly is home to us.
This is going to be tough for this community. It was hit hard. It's going to take a while to recover, and the federal government's going to play a role.
Tonight, President Donald Trump also tweeting that he's spoken to Governor DeWine and supports those hurt by the storm. Senator Sherrod Brown also sharing a message of support on Twitter, saying his heart aches for the victims. He also said if Governor DeWine seeks a national emergency declaration, he'll work to get it approved.
You can help the storm victims, too, by donating to the Red Cross. We've got some volunteers like Diane, Henry, and Vicki out there already standing by in our studios, taking your donations over the phone. Call 614-821-4444. Again, 821-4444. There's also a link to donate on our website, NBC4i.com.
And we'll have more coverage on the devastation there. When you see pictures like that, like we hear about the tornado, it's devastating.
It's amazing that homeowners and people that live in the area are heeding the warnings. They're getting the alerts on their phones. They're hearing the sirens in their area, and they're taking shelter.
We'll have more coverage coming up in just a little bit as our call for it continues tonight. Coming up right now, though, no class at one school in Franklin County. All new at 5:30, what we know about a threat to Finland Middle School.
Due to the severe weather last night, the grounds crew here at Muirfield Village Golf Course had to change their plan of action in order to get the course ready for today's practice rounds. I'll have that story coming up next.